according to AdMob again. AdMob, owned by Google now. So obviously, if you look at these slides, you will find out that it's a faster growing operating system. These are some projections. Obviously, predicting future is very hard. So you need to take it with a grain of salt. So far, I think they actually from the way I look at it, there's actually maybe even reality is going to be a little bit more aggressive, I think, because given a lot of these predictions were done like a few months ago, and last few months were really the numbers that were published were really amazing in terms of how well the platform sells. There's a very interesting thing. Smartphones will fall to silly prices. I don't know what that means. I guess silly price is probably going to be around $150. There's some people actually took these things apart and they figured out that there's $170 worth of parts in iPhone, and there's somewhere. Actually, I don't remember the number. I think it's actually less than 170 for Android. Anybody remembers what was the number for Android?
30,000.
Huh?
30,000. You're talking about application. No,
cost of
no
parts.
Cost of parts for one of these guys. But the one of the very interesting difference about these devices, it's a premium platform, right? It obviously has premium components. The way Android platform is being right now developed and marketed, you can have a range of different capabilities. So you can have a premium parts, and you can have with a high resolution screen and flash and some other things, and 2 microphones and faster processor, but you can actually have a lower end device, right? And it's also going to be also very useful. So the way it looks right now, you can within the year probably you're going to be able to sell the devices like a lower end. Yeah, go ahead.
174.
174. Excellent. Thank you. Yes. So $174 worth of parts. Now, there's
would that
lower.
Be the HTC device or?
I think it's the Nexus, right?
Yeah, the Nexus one.
It's the Nexus one.
Nexus.
Yeah, right. So now these are premium parts. This is a premium phone, right? It's got a high resolution screen. It's got a 2 mic. Yeah, go ahead.
I think in some ways Steve Jobs has a point. I watched the PC business have a free-for-all when everybody else got involved, started writing viruses, doing all the crap that they did with the earlier PCs. It's come on and moved on the way it has. Now, is there any kind of consortium or some sort of agreement by people developing Android's operating system and software to make sure this crap doesn't happen with the Android phones as well?
Viruses?
Sure, virus, whatever crap goes on. Pushing advertisements when you walk by your neighborhood safely and suddenly it's special show up in your phone to make sure that doesn't happen.
Well, I guess now I'm not sure I know the good answer. I think one of the things that really worked very well was how the whole open source software infrastructure worked in terms of development, in terms of response, in terms of vendors supporting it, people offering services. So to me, Android is really based on open source ecosystem, and that ecosystem basically proven that it can be very successful for business. I think there's lots of room. I guess these things are going to be created. I think there's going to be organization once it becomes much bigger business, and it will pretty soon. I think there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be interested about creating proper infrastructure and governance for it. As far as I know, there's none right now. But it's in contrast with Apple, at least that system is open. So anybody can look inside. They're not going to get a letter from a lawyer, and so it's an open system, and there's lots of benefits from business perspective and also from security.